Blank Slate crew. I'm still experimenting with this new screen recorder. I kind of think it's really cool. So I'm recording this like with the camera vertical because I think it turns out better in the final video, and it might show up a little bit small on your screen. But I'm going to be looking at labels and stuff and different products that I have sitting here, like this protein and a couple other things. We got some Breton crackers sitting there, and kimchi, because this is something that's awesome for every day, and you don't need a whole pile of it. This is from a company down in Toronto here. It's really awesome. But what we're getting into today are the nutrition facts. And now I want to just start off by saying, let's look at the ingredients. Okay, so this is a raw product made here in Toronto, and you can see the ingredients: cabbage, radish, red pepper, garlic, ginger, apple, pear, chives, and sea salt. Okay, they specifically tell you that they're putting sea salt in there, not iodized crap. And by the way, that's kimchi by Abby. And I'm gonna have to get a hold of her and do a phone interview or something, because this stuff is phenomenal. It's real spicy, but you know, you gotta add some spice to your life. But you see, it's got there's nothing else in it except for real raw products, right? So there's their address, phone number if you need it. Now, if we go and look at the nutrition facts, which is what most people first look at, they go, oh, I just got to look at my calories and all that stuff. This is more important right here. Okay? It's got nothing in it except raw natural products. Now, let's go over here to the Breton crackers. And my friend left me a note. Cheese in the fridge. I ate all the cheese. And, okay, nutrition facts. Don't look there first. Don't look there first. You got to get a general idea of what you're eating before you go and look at the other stuff. So you can tell this is garbage. I mean, come on. Whole grain, whole wheat. That's great. But it's all been put into a processor and totally processed. So who cares if it was whole grain? It was powderized before they put it in. It's processed, and it's now, it's not whole grain anymore. So wheat flour, canola oil. Canola oil is just terrible for you. Coconut oil, wheat germ. Sugar, modified milk ingredients. That's sugar. Salt, that is not the salt that you found in here, right? See, they say sea salt, right? And the reason why it doesn't say anything other than salt here is because it's iodized, washed, empty salt. It's garbage. It's been made in a factory, you can tell. If you look right here, you can tell that when they put a warning on the label right here, right there, contains, that's because it's made in a factory that makes a whole pile of other stuff. So, you know, you'll see that with peanuts and stuff that it's like may contain traces of, because the machinery can never be totally cleaned. I may do that like total deep clean like a couple of times a month or something like that, but in general they just hose the stuff down. I've worked in a lot of factories, trust me, I know. And so first look here, and if it's got a like this, like a laundry list of stuff, it's like, just take it out of your diet, unless it's very sparing, because it's junk anyway. But for the purpose of what we were getting at, now, this was from France Lise. She asked about some coconut water she had. And that coconut water, at the outset, I was like, oh, this is great, because I didn't follow my own rule there. And I just looked at the carbohydrate, and it said 10 milligrams. And I forgot. And I said, but later, if you go and you look on that label, it's in the Blank Slate group on my Facebook page. Blank Slate Body Recomposition is a closed group. But if you see this video, you can add yourself, and I will approve. So it actually said 10 grams of sugar. Now, we know that carbohydrate, which is sugar, sugar is carbs, carbs is sugar, it all turns into glucose in your blood, is 4 calories per gram. So if we actually did the real math on it, like my good friend Dan Gilflix pointed out, and you can look at it, and it had 8 grams of sugar. So at the end of the day, the math, I think it was actually 10 grams. So they mislabeled it 10 milligrams of carbohydrate. It was actually 10 grams because the calories were 40. 10 times 4 is 40. So we knew that was a mislabeling thing. So you got to be careful of that as well. Okay? So if we look over here at the Kaizen, and we see that it doesn't have a huge pile of ingredients, right? Now, there's flavoring and all the other stuff. Let's see if we can get this to focus in here. One thing that I hate is when people show stuff on the camera and you can't actually see it. So it could be a light issue. Not sure. But let's try this. There we go. All right. So natural flavors, cocoa powder, soy lecithin. It's like everything else is pretty good in here. Papain, that's an enzyme that helps break down protein. And you can also find that in kiwis, by the way. Kiwis are a good fruit that I consider good because it's full of a lot of fiber and not too much fructose. So not a lot of things in there. It's awesome. And then you can see that most companies like this, obviously their whole world is protein. So they're like, 24 grams of protein. We've got 2 grams of net carbs, so 3 grams of carbs versus, oh wait, hold on. See, they don't put on there the fiber. We always do that first too. So fiber, 1 gram. So yeah, it's 2 grams of net carbs, which is, that's nothing. It's great. And so this is actually a good product, you can tell. So first check the ingredient list, then you go up to the nutrition facts, and the only thing that really matters in terms of what we're trying to do here is figuring out what the actual net carbohydrate is, because we were talking about carbs. So 13 grams of carbohydrate minus 1 gram of fiber is 12 grams of net carbs. So that's 12 grams of non-fibrous carbohydrate that will end up as glucose in your blood that will stimulate your pancreas to release insulin. So there's a little lesson on reading food labels. So it's really important to check for ingredient list, and if it's full, if it's got a big ingredient list, chances are it is not good for you. You should just toss it out or start limiting that if you aren't ready to totally switch over. So I hope this helped out with everybody. So basically, ingredient list first. If it's got a really limited and awesome list of ingredients, like with the kimchi, that's good. Then you go farther and look at and say, how much is the net carbs? And again, let's take a look at this one. Total carbohydrate, 2 grams. Dietary fiber, 2 grams. There's no net carbs in here. You could eat this whole bottle and it won't have any insulinogenic effect. That's not technically true. Everything has an insulinogenic effect, just a little bit, because insulin's involved always with all these types of storage and nutrient partitioning. We'll have to get into that nutrient partitioning next. So there you go. How to read your food labels.